I'm going to be honest. I can't go to Iran. I can't deploy to Iran. And it's not because I don't want to. I want to serve my country. It's just that I will be an OPSEC liability in any country filled with pretty caramel-colored women. She's going to be like, "What's an op board?" And I'm going to be like, "It's hard to explain. It'd be easier if I just grab one and show you."
In 1980, Iran and Iraq were at war. The day after the Iraqi soldiers captured the city of Khorramshahr, they tied the body of an Iranian girl on a pole on the other side of the Karun River, right where the Iranian soldiers could see it. When the Iranian soldiers saw that, they went across to bring her body back. 3 of them lost their lives, but they brought her back and returned the body to her family so that they could bury her.
بعضی از من ایراد گرفتن. شما برای آوردن یک جسد 3 تا 2 تا شهید دادین. گفتم بله. 10 تا هم بود میدادم. خودم هم اگه لازم بود میرفتم. چرا؟ این صحبت یک دختر آبادان خرمشهری نیست.
بله.
این ناموس کشور ایرانه.
بله.
ملت ایرانه. چجوری من قبول کنم جسد یک دختر ایرانی اونجا آویزون بشه من بمونم؟ خب به غیرت من اگه این کارو بکنم.
It's funny that you have no idea who you're dealing with. Iranian men will protect their women even if they have to sacrifice their own lives. That's something you OnlyFans people would not understand.
So Iran has officially declared victory over the United States. Yes, this is real. I'm going to do everything in my power not to hysterically laugh through this, because the Khamenei is out here on television pounding his chest like he had just won the Super Bowl. But no, you're right, bud. Huge congratulations to Iran for the big victory over the United States. I mean, who wouldn't call it a win when your nuclear sites are in rubble, your scientists are gone, your top generals are dust, 18 of your 19 missiles got shot out of midair, and the one that actually landed didn't even kill anybody. It barely chipped the runway. But no, yeah, take your victory. Oh, and let's not forget, they gave the U.S. advance warning of the strike. That's not war. That's RSVPing to your own loss. Meanwhile, Trump pulled off a ceasefire, saved American lives, and flattened Iran's military infrastructure, and they're out here parading like it's V-Day. This is like getting knocked out in the first round and yelling, "I meant to do that," while you're lying flat on the mat. Ayatollah, buddy, you didn't slap America. You got steamrolled. But hey, if delusions help you sleep at night, sweet dreams. Wild. Iran has just launched missiles at U.S. bases. 6 missiles reportedly fired at a base in Qatar. That's the largest U.S. military base in the Middle East, and more aimed at a base in Iraq. Explosions were heard over Doha, air raid sirens, interceptors scrambling. The United States Embassy literally told Americans to shelter in place. Airspace is absolutely closed. This isn't a drill. This is a credible escalation. Iran is officially retaliating for Trump's massive airstrike on their nuclear facilities. And while some of those missiles were shot down, this sends one very clear message. We're in it now. It's now U.S. troops, U.S. bases, U.S. citizens directly in the line of fire. And if Iran thinks Trump is going to back down after this, they clearly haven't been paying attention. We're watching history.
They know Iran doesn't have a nuclear weapon. That's the only reason they're comfortable attacking them. Because they know Iran cannot attack back with nuclear weaponry. And they arrogantly thought their Iron Dome was going to protect them. But it literally collapsed within 24 hours. A lot of people may have seen earlier videos where a whole bunch of Iran's weapons were being intercepted by the Iron Dome. The Iron Dome, by the way, actually shoots a missile up to intercept and blow up other missiles. But what they didn't get is that Iran was intentionally sending old missiles to wear out, to use up the defense. And once they felt like they had sufficiently worn down the defenses of the Iron Dome, then they started unleashing the heavy duty stuff. And Iran has hypersonic missiles. And I don't know if you've seen one of those on video. It is insane how fast they come in. You're not getting out of the way of a hypersonic missile. You may be able to see some other type of missile up in the air heading your way. You run for the hills. You're not running from a hypersonic missile. As fast as you see it, it's there. It travels faster than the speed of sound. So it hits you before you even hear it coming. They've also unleashed a new type of weaponry that we've never even seen before. Hey Siri, how many missiles does Iran have? It's going to be in the thousands. 3,000 ballistic missiles. They're going to level Israel like a parking lot.
So Iran has put out a list of all the U.S. military losses. Now listen to Ben Meiselas from the Midas Touch go through this list.
And Iran said, look, here's what we hit, and here's what we can prove that we hit. 47 radar and air defense systems, 44 support and logistics systems, 48 operational infrastructure like those containerized housing and barracks, 49 aircraft and aerial assets. You take a look at this list. Radar and defense systems, 7 command and control centers, 3 satellite communication systems, 6 Patriot air defense radars, 3 air and maritime surveillance control radars, 8 detection and early warning radar systems, 7 air and missile defense radars, 3 EPS radar systems, 2 EPS 117 radars, 5 long range 117 radars, 5 long range radars, 2 air defense radars, 1 tactical radar complex. Now support and logistics facilities. 6 fighter, jet, and helicopter maintenance centers, 3 support and logistics centers. These are all U.S. military facilities and equipment. 12 fuel storage tanks, 17 warehouses storing weapons, spare parts, naval equipment, and aircraft components, 6 missile storage depots, operational infrastructure, 6 MQ drone hangars, 1 F-15 fighter preparation hangar, 1 drone hangar containing 8 factory new drones, 2 command centers, 1 aircraft carrier refueling platform, 1 P-8 aircraft hangar, 4 HIMAR missile launchers, 5 fighter aircraft hangars, 4 Patriot air defense complexes, 6 missile launch platforms, 1 fuel pumping station, 2 signal communication centers, 1 intelligence data center, 1 artificial intelligence and data processing facility associated with Amazon, 1 depot for remotely operated unmanned surface vessels, 1 fuel pier, 4 fighter aircraft shelters, 6 aircraft parking and operating ramps, and in terms of aircraft and aerial assets, 11 fighter aircraft and helicopters destroyed or damaged on the ground, 17 reconnaissance and operational drones, including 8 factory new aircraft, 1 F-15 fighter jet, 1 P-8 maritime patrol aircraft, 1 C-17 transport aircraft, 8 aerial refueling aircraft, 4 heavy helicopters, 6 stored missiles in the past 2 weeks.
Now I know you Trump supporters are watching this and saying you don't trust the Iranians. But let me ask you, do you really trust Donald Trump and his administration, who said they've destroyed their navy? It's at the bottom of the sea. They've obliterated their military. Operation Midnight Hammer was a victory, and there's no more nuclear weapons in Iran. And then they turn around and ask for $88 more billion, and you see our soldiers coming home in body bags. Get your heads out of his rear end, MAGA.
200 American soldiers were sleeping here in Ali Salem Air Base in Kuwait. If you can tell in the before and after, all of these barracks are destroyed. A single Iranian missile has destroyed 5 army barracks, which hold at least 40 American soldiers each during the night. We would have to assume that hundreds of American soldiers in the middle of the night had to wake up and get to a shelter within maybe 2 minutes of this happening. As of now, the U.S. says that not even anybody was injured in this attack. I personally find that very hard to believe. The smoke that was rising above Kuwait where this attack happened also says pretty otherwise. Now remember, Donald Trump says that Iran doesn't have a military and that it's been fully wiped out. But that is just clearly not true. So what else is he lying about? Could they be lying about casualty numbers? The week has already seen multiple American soldiers lose their lives. As the week goes on, more and more from days ago are coming up. It takes around 3 to 4 days for the U.S. to officially announce it, meaning we could see a big amount very soon. Make sure to comment your thoughts and follow me for more information. For the first time in history, an F-35 has been shot. It was a direct hit, and the pilot never saw it coming. No flares, no evasive maneuvers. The F-35 is America's best jet. This proves that Iranian radars and air defenses are fully active, and they are not destroyed. The fighter jet had to make an emergency landing, and the pilot is in stable condition. The Iranians have confirmed this is a 2025 air defense that was built after the 12-day war, and radar, which we thought was destroyed, was used to detect the $100 million stealth jet. And this becomes the first ever hit and possibly the first ever detection. Everything that we thought was happening in Iran of destroyed air defenses, destroyed radars for the past 3 weeks is completely false. Because it would take the most advanced, best, and expensive radars and air defense systems to even find this jet. But the Iranians were even able to get a camera on it and hit it with footage. Now, the F-35 is a plane that America doesn't even give some of its best allies just because of how stealthy it is. The $100 million F-35.
Stop watching CNN. American news is not going to tell you what's actually going on. These Iranian drones are kicking our ass right now and costing us millions of dollars. Iran has thousands of these one-way drones. A one-way drone is a drone that's programmed to fly to a certain location and then strike like a missile. It costs Iran $20,000 to $30,000 to build these drones, and it's costing us $3 million a missile to intercept one. And we are using 5 to 7 missiles to intercept one drone. The problem is these drones are about 11 feet long and 10 feet wide, so we having a problem detecting them. And when we finally detect them, we having a problem intercepting them. America does not have control over this situation like they're making it seem. If shit like this continues, we've probably already spent $1 billion and the war just started a few days ago. If shit like this continues, this might go down as the most expensive war in history.
So Iran just said that they have destroyed nearly every U.S. military base in the region, and now they are effectively hunting the last remaining American forces. But how accurate is this claim? Well, the United States maintains around 19 military installations in the Persian Gulf. These range from major installations like Al Udeid Air Base in Qatar down to smaller access points like those in Iraq. Now, according to satellite imagery from BBC and the New York Times, between 11 and 17 military bases have been struck by drones and ballistic missiles. These include a radar system at Al Udeid Air Base in Qatar, a military aircraft runway in Kuwait at Al Assam Air Base, communication infrastructure at the Naval Support Activity in Bahrain, and additional sites such as Al Asad Air Base in Iraq and Prince Sultan Air Base in Saudi Arabia. The total estimated damage is around $800 million, mainly to radar and infrastructure. And despite these strikes, many of these bases remain operational and have not been destroyed. U.S. reports still show that casualties are in the low double digits. So this claim that Iran has destroyed all the U.S. military bases and is hunting U.S. service members in these bases is completely false.
This is breaking news. President Trump says Iran shot down a U.S. Army Apache helicopter last night and that the United States must respond. We've been reporting on this story. 2 pilots were rescued in the Gulf of Oman, and they were rescued with a sea drone, according to a CENTCOM official. But the president just posted to Truth Social saying, "I have just been informed by our great military that last night the Iranians shot down one of our highly sophisticated Apache helicopters while patrolling over the Strait of Hormuz. There were 2 pilots involved. Both are safe and uninjured. Nevertheless, the United States must, of necessity, respond to this attack. Thank you for your attention to this matter." So a major development. The president says the United States will respond to the Iranians shooting down this U.S. Army helicopter last night.
Iran, let me tell you something. This war just entered a new phase, and now you just pissed off the president of the United States of America. Because now we got some more breaking news coming in that this is not just an escalation. This is one pissed off, scorned freaking president. Donald Trump has just come to national TV that we are hitting Iran extremely, very, very hard for a third day in a row. We're going to do it today. And you know what? I think we're going to do it tomorrow as well. And then he comes out and says, we'll strike Iran as much as we want. And the truth is, there's not a damn thing that they can do about it. And then the president comes out and says, I'm starting to get to know these people. And I got to tell you that many of them are like out of their minds. They're nuts. They're crazy. Like they literally couldn't tell the truth about anything if their life depended on it. Sounds like a politician I know over there in New York City, doesn't it? Now I gotta tell you, whether you support this strategy or not, one thing that is becoming abundantly clear to me, this conflict is no longer about isolated military action. Tonight, the world is now watching to see how Iranians respond. Whether this escalates further or whether the pressure is going to change their course of action. But as always, I'm going to stay on top of every single move that is happening over there in the Middle East. So just stay with me, get your popcorn out, be ready, because this is going to be a wild ride. But most importantly, God bless our troops, and let's pray for peace through strength.
Trump was ready to launch what he called the biggest attack since World War II. And then, at the last minute, he pulled back. Here's what just happened. President Trump announced that the United States was hours away from carrying out massive new strikes on Iran. According to him, the attack would have been devastating. But after conversations with Gulf leaders, he suddenly canceled everything and said negotiations with Iran would start today. There's just one problem. Iran is already denying it. Iranian officials came out and said clearly, there are no negotiations happening with the United States right now. They're only talking to Oman about the Strait of Hormuz. So we have two completely different versions of the same story. Trump says talks begin today. Iran says no talks are taking place at all. Meanwhile, oil prices dropped more than 5% on the news, and the whole region is watching to see who is actually telling the truth. This sudden reversal has left a lot of people asking the same question. Did Trump really back down, or is this just the calm before something bigger? Drop your opinion in the comments. Do you believe the talks are real, or is this just another move in the game?
You failed to stop Iran from being a nuclear threshold nation. You failed to stop Iran from having missiles that could go thousands of miles. Why should we listen to you? Is it possible they could have 60% highly enriched uranium without them cheating in the past?
We know in every context of what Iran has undertaken, they've lied and cheated.
The answer is no. Everything that Obama and Biden did was designed to keep it to a civilian nuclear program. There is no way in hell they can have 60% highly enriched uranium unless they cheat. So everything y'all did failed. And you want to criticize? You failed. You allowed Iran to be a threshold nuclear nation. Everything you did failed. Missiles, Diego Garcia. Did they shoot missiles at Diego Garcia, General Kane, the Iranians?
Yes, sir. They shot a few.
Under the protocols we had in place, were they supposed to be able to do that?
Without reviewing the fine print, I believe the answer is no.
No, they weren't. You failed there.